Hi everyone! It feels like ages since I last filmed a beauty video, but for today's video I wanted to film something that has been highly requested, and that is an everyday makeup tutorial. So I tried to film this video a couple of times and it was a disaster every time. The colors were awful, you couldn't really see me, I was out of frame, it was a disaster. So I hope that this video is gonna be somewhat helpful, somewhat interesting, and I hope that it's gonna be pretty good. So bear with me because this is the first makeup tutorial that I ever done on camera, and this is pretty stressful. This makeup look takes me probably between 5 to 10 minutes every morning. It really depends if I'm doing an eyeliner look like what I did today or not. But I really like this makeup. I use a couple of products, some new ones that I haven't talked about just yet that I absolutely love. So I hope you're gonna enjoy this tutorial and we're gonna get started. So we're gonna get started with the look. If I look down, it's because I have my mirror in front of me, I have all the makeup I'm gonna be using and my brushes, so we're gonna get started. First thing I'm gonna use is Benefit That Girl Primer, and I use the Sigma Flat Foundation F60 brush to apply that. You'll see that with makeup, when it comes to makeup, I really like to use makeup brushes for pretty much everything. I don't really like to use my finger because, I don't know, it's just my style. So what I do is that I take a little bit on the foundation brush and I just apply it pretty much in the center of my face because that's where my makeup tends to sink in a little bit with my skin. So that's where foundation will disappear and concealer, and we don't want that. And as you can see, I have really terrible skin at the moment. It's because I'm pretty stressed and I've been working a lot. So my skin is acting up. As you can see, I have a huge spot right there. It's pretty dry as well. It's just a nightmare at the moment. So we're gonna cover everything up. And I'm actually gonna get started with my eyes, and I'm gonna use the Bobbi Brown Corrector in the shade Light Bisque. If you have dark circles as bad as mine, you will love this stuff because, as you can see, it's kind of a salmon color and it cancels the blueness of your dark circles. So I use the Bare Essentials Max Coverage Concealer brush with that. I just take a bit of product onto my brush, and I'm gonna do something that's really bad for your ego. You're gonna stare at the mirror and look down so you can see exactly where you have dark circles. I've warned you, your ego is gonna be crying on the floor after that because it really shows you where your dark circles are, and mine are really bad at the moment. So what I tend to do is that I pat it on with the brush and then I slightly blend it with my finger, with my ring finger. You don't want to apply too much pressure because the skin around your eye area is really thin and you don't want to ruin that. So here we go. I feel like it made such a huge difference when it comes to dark circles. But obviously I'm gonna need concealer for that. People are always balancing between applying your concealer before your foundation or after. What I tend to do is that I apply it before, and if I feel like I need a bit more, I'll go over after the foundation. For that I'm gonna use the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. I have the shade Medium 1 Custard, and I just apply it straight underneath my eyes and around the spot. I just make sure not to apply it onto the spot directly because otherwise the dough applicator thing on the concealer will get like full of bacteria, and that's not something that we want. And then I'm gonna use the Real Techniques setting brush to blend everything. I love this brush to blend concealer because, as I told you, I really like to use brushes for almost everything. And sometimes a flat brushes, I feel like it's perfect for corrector, but not so much for concealer. So just quickly concealing all of that. And if I need to, I still go back with my ring finger. I'm not completely avoiding fingers. Sometimes you need them, but and then I'm gonna go over the spot. Like so. So moving on to foundation, I usually stick to tinted moisturizer and BB creams because I have dry skin, but my skin is so bad at the moment that I want something that adds a bit more coverage. And this foundation is actually something I purchased this summer, and I don't know where I've been all this time because this is by far the best foundation I ever tried. It has been all around YouTube for years, and since I got it, I can totally understand why. And this is the Chanel Vitalumière Aqua Foundation. I have the shade 32 beige rosé, which is the perfect match for me. So I'm gonna shake it up. Like so, you really need to shake this foundation because otherwise it's really liquidy. And I'm gonna use a Sigma round kabuki F82 brush to blend that onto my face. So I put a bit of product onto my brush directly and then I dot it around my face. Like so. And then I start blending. I don't have like a specific order of where I apply my foundation. I just basically go with the flow. I really like this foundation because it has a decent coverage. It's still pretty much on the lighter coverage, but the finish of it is just perfect. The match is great for my skin, and every time I wear it, people around me are like, have you been out in the sun because your skin looks amazing, which you saw isn't the case at all. I really like this kabuki brush from Sigma. I have this one in the F80. I really like these for a foundation because they blend everything really nicely, really naturally, and I just love it. Because my skin is so bad at the moment, my foundation can go a bit patchy on areas, so I take the Real Techniques Perfect Complexion Sponge. I'll put the correct name in the description down below, and I just press the foundation in areas that it tends to look a bit unnatural, like my forehead and around my eyes. As you can see, we can still see that spot, so I'm gonna correct it back with the Nars concealer, and I'm actually going to take the Real Techniques detailer brush, take a bit of product onto that. I'm gonna really try to hide that spot. Here we go. I'm gonna start with my eyes now, and I'm gonna use the Nars Pro Prime Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. I've been loving this at the moment. I picked it up when we were in Miami because I was out of eyeshadow primer. I really like it. It makes your eyeshadow go on really smoothly, and it doesn't crease through the day, and it stays there, which is really important because you don't want to spend 10 minutes doing your eyes to end up with nothing 3 hours later. For eyeshadow, I'm gonna use this palette, which I'm obsessed with at the moment. This is from Bobbi Brown, and that's the Surf and Sand eyeshadow palette. The correct name is the Sand Eye palette, and it has 8 beautiful neutral shades. I just love it. I think it looks absolutely fabulous. So to start off with, I'm gonna take this flat eyeshadow brush. I have no idea where this is from. I think it was part of a Kat Kidston kit I got when I was a teenager, but I am obsessed with this brush. And I'm gonna start with this shade right here that I'm going to apply all over my lids. The thing is that with this eyeshadow palette, you don't need to be too precise because every single shade goes really well with the other shades, so it's not like too technical or anything. This is really great to use on an everyday basis, and I love to travel with that. That's actually the palette that I got in Miami as well, and I went to Saint-Tropez just as I came back to Brussels. I flew to Nice the very same day, and that was the only eyeshadow palette that I took with me, and I just loved it, seriously. And then I'm gonna mix these two gold shimmery shades together with just the same eyeshadow brush, and I'm gonna slightly apply it again all over the lid. I don't want something too dramatic because I'm gonna do a black eyeliner look, but this is just to add a bit of warmth to my eyes. And then on the Sigma pencil brush, the E31, I'm gonna take this darker brown color right here and use just a tad bit of that underneath my eyes. What I tend to do if I know I'm gonna do a black eyeliner is just use a darker color really lightly underneath, on the bottom lashes, because I don't use mascara on my bottom lashes if I'm gonna do a winged eyeliner look, just because I think it takes a bit off of the dramatic eyeliner. I'm gonna move on to brows now before I do my eyeliner, and for that I'm gonna use the Hourglass Brow Sculpting Pencil in the shade Soft Brunette. and this is really convenient because it comes with a great spoolie on one end, which is actually really great. And the pencil itself has a great color match for me, I think. And I love the texture because it's kind of a bit waxy, so you don't really need to use like clear brow mascara on top of it to keep your brows in place. But this looks really natural. Actually, I really like strong brows, but I don't think it suits me that well. So I tend to stick to something pretty natural. And you see, I'm not too fussy about my brows. I just want a bit more definition and a bit more color, but that's it. On an everyday basis, I want my brows to be quick, and I don't want them to look too dramatic or too over the top. So we're gonna move to eyeliner, which is a tricky part because if you use eyeliner, you know that doing your two eyes exactly the same is impossible. But I'm gonna try anyway, and on camera it's a bit more stressful. When it comes to eyeliner, I always stick to the Bobbi Brown gel eyeliner in the shade Black Ink. So you can see it's well loved. And I'm pretty much obsessed with the Bobbi Brown Ultra Fine eyeliner brush. I love this brush because it is really, really fine. You can get really precise with it. So I take a bit of product onto the brush. And then what I do is that I don't pull my eyelids, but I still push it somewhere, just because it helps me to be more precise. I hope I'm not out of frame or anything. But I tend to start at the root of my lashes and really build it up really gently. This is gonna take a while. Actually, you notice that when you apply mascara or eyeliner, you tend to open your mouth. Did you know that it's because you tend to blink less if you have your mouth open? You learn something new every day. Then I'm going to do my wing, and I try to do it that it connects the outer part of my eye to my brows. But I don't want anything too dramatic. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna do the left eye now. So of course my two eyes don't look the same, but we'll go with that. And I'm gonna curl my lashes with the Shu Uemura eyelash curler. This is a step that I always do, no matter what makeup look I'm going for. It makes such a huge difference. I just love it. It makes the world of a difference. And for mascara, I'm gonna use the Une Eyes Only Volume Mascara, which I love because it is really black. Oh my god, I'm doing such a mess over here. Here we go. It's looking rather good. My eyeliner is terrible. So now what I'm gonna do is move on to powder, and I've been using this Hourglass ambient lighting palette recently, and I really like to set my makeup like that. So I'm gonna use the Real Techniques powder brush, and I'm gonna use this first shade right here and just apply it on my T-zone. And this gives you such a nice finish because it takes the shine away but not the dewiness, and I love that. And then I'm gonna take, this is a really old makeup brush. This used to be, well, it still is, but it doesn't have a name on it anymore. This was a brush that I got in Hong Kong in 2008 from Calvin Klein, and I'm gonna use that middle shade right here to slightly highlight my cheekbones. I love this brush. It's holding up great as well. I mean, I've had that for what, 6 years now? I use it every day and I love it. I'm gonna add a bit of bronzer because I look pretty pale. And for bronzer and everything that has to do with that, I love to use the Real Techniques blush brush, which is a huge brush. And I'm gonna use the Tarte Park Avenue Princess bronzer. This is actually a sample that I got at Sephora, but I really like this bronzer. What I tend to do is start on my cheekbones and then go down. I don't want to overdo it, I just want it to look a bit natural. And I just add a bit on my forehead. For blush, I've been loving this YSL Baby Doll Kiss and Blush, and I have the shade 7. I just love this stuff. Like that, on to my cheeks. And then I use another Real Techniques brush. Can you tell I love these? The Duo Fiber Contour Brush, like that. I love the fact that this is a peach color that looks really natural but really shows on the skin as well. Love that thing. And then for lips, I'm gonna finish off with lips because my lips are so dry at the moment. I've been using the Josie Maran Argan Infinity Lip and Cheek Creamy Oil, and I have the shade Timeless Coral. And honestly guys, I am obsessed with Josie Maran Cosmetics. I think she does great stuff. It's all natural, doesn't have any nasties in it, and I'm just obsessed. And here we are. That's it. So I don't know how long this took on camera, but it takes me about 10 minutes to get ready in the morning. I don't do this crazy eyeliner look every single day, depends on what I'm doing that day. But if I feel like it, that's something that I would definitely do. So thank you so much for watching guys, I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone!